Welcome to episode 4. Now, we started episode 3 with a bankroll of $934. Things were looking pretty glum, but we managed to book a win of $440, bringing us up to $1374 to start this video. So, we played 4 sessions, a total of 10 hours, and boy did we run good. Stick around to the end to see how much we've earned this vlog.
Let's get into some hand histories. This is the only one from River Rock, and we are facing 3 limps. Look down on the button at Ace King suited. Definitely going to bump this up. We raised up to $20, and we only get 1 caller. So heads up to a flop. Comes out okay. 9-3-3. So if he doesn't have a 9 or pocket pair or 3, we're probably ahead. He does something weird though. He leads for $30 here, which makes me really think he's got a pocket pair or a 9. But I think it's a bit too soon to fold just yet. You probably could fold, to be honest. But I go ahead and toss in the call. Turn's pretty good. 7 of hearts. We pick up an additional 9 outs. He bets again, but pretty small this time. About half pot, $55. Easy call here. I don't think raising is really good here. So we're just going to go ahead and call. And river's pretty nice. Spiky king. So he checks it over here. And now I'm quite sure he's got either a 9 or a pocket pair. It would suck if he's got king 9 or trapping with like a 3, but we're going to go for max value here. We go ahead and shove all in. It's just over pot size bet. He doesn't think for too long and tosses in the call. And he's got ace 9 suited, so we do hit a nice little 3 out of there on the river.
Wrapping up the first session of the vlog here, we are in for 300, out for 539, bringing the total bankroll up to 1173. All we have to do is start a new vlog. Run that over. See you guys in the next one.
Just notice how nasally I sounded in that last clip. I am a little bit sick, so bear with me. It might sound gross. So under the gun, +1 is going to limp here, and we got ace-jack off in mid-position. Definitely going to raise this up 5x. And I think the blinds, as well as the original limper call, so we're going 4 ways to a flop. We get top pair on a flush draw board. And big blind is going to lead out here for $10. What are you doing? Under the gun, +2 makes the call. We are not going to allow a diamond roll off for this cheap, so we're going to bump it up. It doesn't have to be too big. It could probably be bigger. I made it 50, but it could probably size a little bit up here. And the big blind makes the call. Off to the turn, which is the ace of hearts. He checks it over to us. He's not got too much behind, so I think a smaller bet here would be better. So I do size down a bit, bet $100, and he does make the fold. Okay, second hand of the session, button straddle is on, and we have Jack 9 suited in the small blind. Gonna bump this up to 18. Folds around to the cutoff, who does make the call, and the button gets out of the way. So heads up to a flop, which comes pretty sweet. Ace Queen Jack. So we flop a flush draw and bottom pair. Betting doesn't really seem to have any merit here, so we're gonna go ahead and take a free card, and cutoff checks it back. Turn the flush. So it's time to start building this pot. Bet $20 as I do on all 3 flush boards, about half pot, and he raises. Pretty good scenario. He's only got $112 behind. I don't want to call, let another diamond peel off and kill my action, so I think we're just going to get it in here. So I raise all in, he calls, we table our hand, and he shows us the 10-8 of diamonds. Rough one for him. Okay, I really like the way I played this hand. So under the gun has a short stack of $40. He just goes ahead and ships it all in pre-flop. And Low Jack is a player from before that had the 10-8 of diamonds. He's a recreational player, and we are definitely looking to get involved with pots with him. So he overcalls us $40, and he's only got 330 behind. And I think a lot of people would just jam here, try and ISO the short stack. But we're in position. We would love to play a bloated pot with this guy. So we're going to choose a raise size that allows him to continue with a lot of hands. So we raise it up to $130. Everyone folds, and it gets back to him, and he tanks for quite a while and makes the call. So flop comes down, king 9-4 with 2 hearts. This is a fantastic flop. We got top pair, top kicker, nut flush blocker. When he checks it over to us, we don't want to bet too big here. I think 1/3 pot's around right, and I think a size even a little bit shorter than that. Yeah, $90. He thinks for a little bit, then makes the call. Turn, 3 of spades. He checks it over to us. It's only one size now, all in. So we shove all in, and he snap folds. So river's a 7 of hearts, and we are good. So I really like the way I played that hand. Otherwise, we would have missed out on another like $180 of value. It's a little bit more high variance, but he's definitely getting into there with a weaker range, so I like that play. Okay, we've gone under the gun limp, and we have king jack off in mid position. Probably a fold, but I really like playing these hands just because people can't really fold, you know, jack 10, queen jack when a jack rolls off. So I do like playing these hands a little bit more than I should. I bump it up to $15, and I think we go to the, where is it? Yeah, so the big blind now does something a little weird after we get 2 calls and makes it $30 on a $144 stack. The under the gun player overcalls, and I think given the price we can't fold, jamming seems bad. So we just go ahead and call and see it flop. Jack 4-3 with 2 hearts. Big blind goes all in. Under the gun gets out the way. And I think it's pretty close. This is a pot-sized bet. We have top pair good kicker. He would do this with ace king. He would do this with any pocket pair. That's even the ones below jacks, I think. So I think we just go toss it in and call and hope no one else behind us has, you know, a crazy good hand. They fold, turns the queen, and rivers a 6, and he shows pocket queens. Ouch. Okay, looking down at a limp, and we've got king queen of clubs in the cutoff. Definitely going to raise this up. We do so to 15, and the button puts in a 3-bet to $40. Pretty small. So when it folds down to us, you know, this is probably just a fold because these people have a 3-bet range of queens, kings, and aces. And so if we make one pair, it's not good, but it's a cheap price. It's only $25 more into a pot of what will be like 87, and I can't help but play a hand like king queen suited, even though it's probably losing play. So we toss in the call. Flop is really nice. 10-9-9 with 2 clubs. Very easy flop to bluff. Check it over to him. He sizes a bet like at $65 and then removes a bunch and then puts in a bet of $40. On this flop, we want to apply maximum pressure to overpairs. We could easily have a 9 here and have trips. Our hand is great equity, you know, so if he does jam, we can call, even though it does kind of suck. So I'm going to raise him, and I want to put a size that allows me to jam turn pretty comfortably, which just happens to be 3x, so I raised up to 120, and after quite a while of thinking, he does toss in the call. So looking for some help on the turn, and boy, does it come. Jack of diamonds. 3 outer to hit our straight without having a flush there to scare him off. And we're just going to jam here. Hope he puts us on a flush draw. So we go ahead and stick it all in. And after thinking for quite some time, tosses in the call. So we're looking to fade a 9 and most likely an ace. River is a 2 of spades. And we are going to scoop this big pot. Running pretty good this week. Okay, final hand of our second session here. We're looking at a low jack limp. Cutoff raises it up to 15, and we've got pocket queens on the button. Definitely going to raise this up. It doesn't have to be too big as cutoff only has 101 behind, so we make it $40. We also want to invite the low jack in, who is a player that we 3-bet with the ace king off in that previous hand, so we definitely want to keep him in, so I price it a little bit smaller. He does overcall $40, and then cutoff predictably jams it all in. I can't let him in for this price, but I do want to put in a raise, so I'm going to go very, very, very small here, like as small as I'm allowed. So I raise up to $200. Low jack tanks for quite a while, but decides on a fold. So we're heads up, all in, ace, ace, 2, pretty okay flop, 4 of spades, and 7 of hearts, and our opponent shows king 10 of spades, so we are going to scoop our final pot.
Wrapping up yet another session here at Park Casino. In for 400, out for $1,271. For our biggest win of the vlog yet, 871. Total bankroll's getting close to where we were before at the start of last vlog. I think we're at 2643. Let's get some more run good. Let's get back up to 3K. See you in the next one.
Okay, first hand of the session, we've got ace deuce of clubs in mid position, facing 1 limp. We're going to raise up to $15. Button calls, and then small blind puts in the 3-bet to $40. Folds back to us. With this tiny, tiny sizing, we can't do anything but call. Right? We're going to be in for $25 into a pot that's 100. We need like 25% equity here, so we make the call, and so does the button. Flop's pretty good. 10-10-5 with 2 clubs. This is a or that I really like to bluff, right? Any Jack 10, 9, 8 that pairs is going to hit our range a lot more than the 3-betters, so it's easy to represent those hands. Small blind leads out for $50. We're going to go ahead and raise this up to $150. I think I'd like to call hands like Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace Jack of clubs, and then re-raise these smaller pocket pairs. Button, though, shoves all in for 160 very quickly. Small blind thinks for quite a while, but lays it down, and we think for ages. I'm kidding, it's $10. We toss at the call. Turn is the 3 of spades, river, 4 of hearts. We make our straight. Unfortunately, our opponent doesn't notice and tables her Jack 10 thinking she won. But no, this pot is going our way. Okay, so we've got a pretty interesting table dynamic now. An older lady has sat down and she is just a monster. Overbet bluffing on streets with like no equity, like $125 into a $40 pot with 4 ways, just doesn't give a shit. It's crazy. Another hand, there's like 5 limpers, and somebody raised up to $75. She snap called like it was nothing off of her original $3 limp. So everyone's really trying to play a lot of hands with her. They're raising pretty big. So when there are 2 calls, hijack raises to $30. This is a pretty big size, but I think he's just trying to ISO the old lady here. So I got pocket queens in the cutoff. Definitely going to go ahead and 3-bet this up to $90, given that I think he's ISOing light, and I'm not going to take his raise size too much into consideration here. Folds back, and unfortunately the lady does make the fold, and when it gets back to him, he is just going to call. So pretty nice, but he don't get jammed on by him. Flop comes down, pretty nice. Queen 10-6, we got top set, although I don't think we needed it. When it checks to us, we're going to go ahead and bet. I think half pot's fine here. SPR is going to be so small in the turn anyway, so I bet $90. He tanks for quite some time, but does make the call. Hoping for a brick turn. We get it. 3 of spades. Checks to us. There's only one size here that makes sense. We could trap, but I don't really want to. We go ahead and shove it all in, and he thinks for quite some time again before making the call. River, 3, so we got top boat. And he rolls over pocket kings. So I'm quite shocked to see such a big hand like that tanking for so long. That's a lot of credit he's given me. a lot of credit. We get very lucky there against the kings, and we do manage to hit our 2 outer, so gonna chip up there. Okay, facing 5 limps, we got Jack 9 suited in the big blind. We're gonna bump it up. We want to ISO the old lady who is in the low jack, so we make it $25. Unfortunately, everyone except for the small blind does call us. We're going 4 ways to a flop. We get top pair. Weak kicker. I'm not really going to bet this into 4 people. This hand definitely belongs in the check back range. We can check call. So checks round. Turn is the 5 of hearts, so a few 2 pairs got there. But we're going to go ahead and bet this, make it $30, and only the button calls. Rivers, not a great card. 3 of spades, so now any 6 has become straight. I think about jamming here for value for a little bit, but like, I don't know. What are we trying to get call from? Like Jack 8, 7, 8. So I just check it over to him. Puts out a bet, $45, and I think that this is a fold just against this player. Yeah, he's never betting Ace Jack here for value, so his range is going to be like, what bluffs can he possibly have here? So, but the price is just too good, so we do go ahead and call, and he shows the 7-6. It's pretty nice he didn't shove all in. Yeah, so we saved $60. That's all right. Okay, we got the pocket jacks facing a under the gun +1 limp. Gonna go ahead and raise this up to $15, and we get 3 callers, so we're going 4 ways to a flop. We're flopping over pair, 8, 4, 3, 2 spades, a little bit connected. Definitely gonna want to bet for protection here. It doesn't have to be too big, so we make it $20, and everyone calls. Turn is a pretty bad card. It's the 8. At least one of them has to have an 8, right? Like, so it checks to us. We're just gonna check it back. Cutoff puts out a bet, very small, 1/10 pot, $15. The under the gun +1 player calls, and we are pretty much getting exact odds to set mine here, so we go ahead and toss in the call. River is no help, the 4 of hearts, so any 8 is now a full house. It checks over to him, and he bets $15 again. We really should be folding here. This is 5 big blinds, like half an hour win rate. But the price is just so good. So we toss in the call and he shows quads. That's okay. That's alright. Nice hand, man. Okay, so we've been at the table for quite a while now, and this is finally the first hand that we get to play with the old lady. She has been folding. Just hasn't had a hand when I have had one. But we're looking at 3 limps, and we got ace jack of diamonds. We're going to raise this up to $20. And the cutoff calls, and all the limpers also call. So 5 ways to a flop. Just really nice. King, queen, 7, 2 diamonds. We flop a gut shot and a nut flush draw. When it checks to me, definitely going to want to go ahead and bet here. It doesn't have to be too big. We bet $35, 1/3 pot. Cutoff folds, and the old lady calls, and the other player on our right who had the kings when we had queens also makes the call. Turns, best card of the deck. 10 of hearts. We got a very disguised straight here. And when it checks to us, we're going to want to start building this pot. They both have like $400 to $600 behind them, so we're going to size up here. We make it 110, just over half pot. And unfortunately, they both fold.
Another session here at Park. In for 400, out for 1,040 for a win of $640. Ran good, played good. That granny was an absolute gangster at our table. Just dancing around, ordering T-bone steaks. Yeah, really nice session. Bankroll's now over $3,000. Gonna keep grinding away.
All right, on to the final session. We're looking down at an under the gun limp. It's $3. We got ace queen off. We're gonna bump it up to 15, and it folds back to him, and he shoves his, or he's only got $100 behind, but he 3-bets to $50. I don't really want to go with a hand for 33 big blinds. I think this is just a fold. You know, limp re-raised to 50. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay him off. Enjoy the $15. We do fold, and he shows us the pocket king, so good fold. Okay, so I missed the recording for this one. I think I just forgot to hit record, so you can enjoy this footage of me getting dealt aces in a misdeal hand. Button straddles on, small blind completes, folds to us with pocket 8s and the low jack. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up to 4x, $25. Hijack calls, and the button defends, and the small blind also makes the call. So 4 ways to a flop. 10, 8, 5, 2 spades. We flop middle set. When it checks to us, we're going to want to size up here as an exploit. 4 people behind, so I make it about $60. And 2 players call. The hijack, button, both make the call. So off to a turn, just hoping for no spade. Comes the king of clubs. And I think that there's only one size that makes sense here. We got pot size bet behind. Button's very short, and the hijack, like if he wants to play, he's going to have to play for all the money. So all in, hijack thinks for quite a while, then makes a fold, and button tosses in the call. Off to a river, hoping for no spade. Does come a spade with the queen of spades. Table our hand, and he shows the king 3 suited. So we turn top pair, river the flush. Nice hand. Nice hand. Okay, final hand of the vlog. Looking at 2 limps, we've got queen jack offsuit on the button. I do like to ISO with these hands just on the button to try and build a pot in position. Queen jack off is usually just a fold, but we bumped it to $18. Both the blinds call, under the gun calls, and cut off folds. So 4 ways to a flop. Not really what we wanted, but flop comes out pretty good. Queen jack for all clubs. So we got top 2, but flushes could be out there. So when it checks to us, we're going to want to bet very small, make it $25, and everyone calls except for the under gun. Small blind, big blind call. So off to a turn, 7 of spades, doesn't change much. When it checks to me, we were 4-handed to go to this flop, so I think flushes are quite possible here. I think 2-3-handed, this is going to be a bet for sure, like a $75 bet. But I decide to play it safe and check it back. Maybe a bit nitty on my part. River's okay, 3 of spades. And small blind leads out, or sorry, big blind leads out for $55. This is a very tight player. It's the same guy that had 7-6 of spades versus us. I just think raising's too thin here. I should have probably bet turn. But we go ahead and toss in the call. I even think about folding for quite a bit. Small blind folds, and big blind shows a queen. It says he has 2 pair, so we are going to scoop this one. Don't know about how I played that. I don't know.
So that's going to wrap up the final session at Park Casino. In for 600, out for 486 for a loss of $114. We started this bankroll challenge with 1374 in the roll, and we earned $1,636 across the 4 sessions, bringing us to a total bankroll of $3,010, a new peak, downswing averted, and 2-5 is going to be coming fairly soon. I'll see you guys in the next one.